7. So we're into our second week of online learning and our second week of travel writing. So my questions to start off this lesson are, which different types of travel writing did we have a look at last week? And can you remember any differences in the language that was used? Give yourself 5 minutes to have a go at this task and then move on to the next slide to see the answers. So hopefully you've given yourself some time to have a think about this and now you're having a look at the answers. So which different types of travel writing did we look at last week? Well, we had a look at a blog, a journal, and then an information leaflet / guidebook. Okay, so we had a look at 3 different styles of travel writing. And what I'm hoping you remember is that there was a difference in the language they used dependent upon whether they were a formal document or an informal document. So, for example, in the blog, the lady used a lot of slang terms because it was an informal blog. It was a personal experience. It was her personal opinion on London. Whereas when we looked at the information leaflet or guidebook, it had more of a formal tone to it because obviously the idea is that it's designed to inform its reader and, you know, they're not friends. It's not somebody giving their personal opinion. It's a very factual piece of text. Okay, so today we are going to move on to something a little bit more exciting to do with travel writing. So this week as an overview, okay, so in our final online learning lessons for this week, we are going to have a think about using persuasive language. Now, if you don't know what that is, don't worry because we're going to have a quick look at it today, but that is our main goal. And we're going to use that in 2 different types of travel writing. The first is that you are going to create your own holiday resort island, okay? And this is going to be so exciting and they're going to be so beautiful and I'm really excited to see what ideas you come up with. And then the second thing you're going to be creating this week is a brochure to advertise your resort island. So we're going to use more of those persuasive language techniques in the brochure than in the actual designing, but actually the designing process is going to feed really heavily into the brochure itself. So what we're going to do is just a little bit of a memory task to start off with, okay? So what I want you to all do is I want you to close your eyes, all right? And I want you to think about a place that you have been to in the past. Now, it could have been a day trip somewhere. It could have been a holiday somewhere. It could have been journeying to a different place, maybe visiting family or friends. And I want you to imagine that place. It can be anywhere that you have been. And I want you to think about what did you like about it? What did you dislike about it and what would have made it perfect? Okay, so you're going to picture that place for me in your mind. You're going to have a think about, you know, what did you like about it? Why is it the first place that comes to your mind when I asked you to think about it? Was there anything that you disliked about it? Is that why it pops into your mind? Maybe you thought that it could be much better than it was. And what would you have included to make it perfect? Okay. So now you're there, I want you to think about when you go on holiday, what do you want from a holiday? Are you going to relax? Are you going to have fun with your family? Are you going to have fun with friends? Are you going because it's hot? Are you going because it's cold? Okay. We all choose holidays based on what we're looking for, don't we? I like a relaxing holiday. Okay, in the summer I like to go to a hot country, sit on a sunbed and bake underneath the sun and have a good nap. Okay, however, some people like the opposite to that. Some people go to different places because they want to explore and they want to have a look around and they want to see different cultures and different places. So you've got to decide really what sort of holiday you want to design to start off with. So that's why I've asked you to think about this, because I want you to think about when you've been your kind of most happiest and what it was about that place that made you so happy. So your thoughts from the previous task are going to be what feeds into this one here. So your task for today's lesson and your next lesson, so I'm giving you 2 lessons to do this, is to create your own island resort, okay? So that doesn't mean I just want you to design a hotel. I want you to design a whole island that is filled with lots of wonderful things for people to explore, okay? So I want you to just have a quick think now. What sort of things would we expect to see on an island when we go on holiday? So what sort of things do you think I'm looking out for when you design these islands? Have a quick think, 5 minutes, write your ideas down in your books for me. Okay then, so hopefully you've had a think about what sort of things we would expect to find on an island when we go on holiday. So I've made a quick list here. Obviously this is not extensive, it's not everything, but these are a couple of ideas that you might have had or you might not have thought of. So obviously we need hotels because we need places for people to stay. Doesn't have to be hotels though, it could be villas, it could be tents or caravans if you wanted to do something like that. It could be huts, you know, if there's a theme to your island, it might be huts, anything at all. So there's got to be somewhere where people can stay. Okay. You might want to think about beaches and swimming pools. So maybe with your hotel, there's a swimming pool. Maybe there's a beach close by to the hotel. Maybe the whole island is surrounded by beautiful beaches that people can go to. You might want to include some adventurous outings. So there might be a water park on your island or a theme park or both. You know, some places do have both. Obviously, we need restaurants, don't we? Because we need places for people to be able to go and eat. You might want to include a zoo or an aquarium or maybe even a jungle experience into yours. There might be kids clubs, there might be outdoor play areas, there might be a water sports centre. Okay, this is your best place, this is your best island. Okay, and if you were going to pay lots of money to go on holiday, what would you want from an island? That's what you've got to think to yourself. All right, so on the next slide, what I've done is I've tried to just do a quick talk through what I'd like to see from you. So kind of, you know, what I'm expecting to see as regards your work. Okay then, so you can see that I have got myself a blank sheet of paper. A3 would be fantastic if you have it. However, if not, A4 is absolutely fine, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the outline for my island, okay? So remember, it's got to be a whole island. So I'm just going to draw a shape here. It can be any shape you want it to be, as long as it's got enough room to be able to fit all of your ideas into it. Okay, so then what I need to think about is I need to think about that list of things that we've just discussed. So I know the first thing on the list was I needed to think about where my guests were going to stay. Now, obviously, as I said previously, whenever I go on holiday, I really like to stay somewhere relaxing and calming. So hotels are perfect for me because somebody has to look after me. So what I'm going to do here in this corner is I am going to put my hotels in. Okay. So they're going to be here. And I'm choosing for them to go here because they're going to look out over to the ocean. Okay. So this is going to be the ocean here. And that's what it's going to look out onto. And then these are the hotels, so they're going to be nice hotels, big windows and big balconies, so you can look out onto the ocean. Okay. And then I'm going to have a think about what name my hotel is going to have. So I'm going to go really straightforward, and this is going to be called the Grand Hotel. Okay, so I've had to think about the hotel. All right, so that's where people are going to stay. So now I've got to think about, well, if that's where people are going to stay, I've got to make everything else kind of fit, haven't I? I don't want them to have to travel too far when they are, you know, going to explore some of the places. So I quite like the idea of having an aquarium on my island. So I am going to do the aquarium here. Okay, because I don't want people to have to drive on holiday because people don't really enjoy doing that. Okay, so I'm going to put the aquarium there and I'm going to draw a little dolphin to signify that it's definitely going to have dolphins in it. Okay, so that's my aquarium. And people can get a free shuttle bus. So there's going to be a road that directly attaches the hotel to here, and you can get a free shuttle bus. So nobody's got to pay to get to the aquarium from the hotel, okay? So that's what I'm thinking. Now, also when I go on holiday, I like beach, okay? And the beach is going to have to be on the edges in it because it's going to feed into the ocean. So here, I'm going to put my beach. Okay, So obviously it's going to feed into the ocean here, isn't it, again? Now on my beach, I'm going to put some little beach bars, because we all like a snack, don't we, and a drink when we're at the beach. So there's some little huts here, look. And that is where you can get some food and drink. Okay, so, and again, there's going to be a direct pathway to the beach. It's in walking distance, so you don't need to get a bus. So people are going to be able to get there. Okay, so then I need to think about further afield. Well, I quite like the idea of a jungle experience. So I think over here, I'm going to create a little bit of a jungle. So if I move my visualizer so you can see it. So up here, look, a little bit further away, because obviously I don't want the wildlife to interfere with my water, with my aquarium or with my hotel or my beaches. Okay, and then you're going to go through this jungle experience, okay, on a Jeep. Yeah, so it's going to be like an off-roading experience too. So I'm going to draw my little Jeep here. Obviously, you can now see why I'm not an art teacher and I'm an English teacher. But this is going to be the jungle experience. Okay. And again, the free shuttle bus that took you to the aquarium is going to be able to get you to the jungle experience. So nobody's going to have to spend money traveling to these places. All right. Okay, so I've had to think about the hotel. I've got my aquarium, my beach, jungle experience. I'm missing some restaurants at the moment, aren't I? I mean, the beach is all right, but I think sometimes people like to go for a sit-down meal too when they're on holiday. So I think here I'm going to have a food square. Okay, and that's going to be lots of lovely restaurants. Okay, so I've had to think about that. So that's going to be lots of restaurants, so food and drink. And again, the shuttle bus is going to be able to take you to there, so nobody's got to worry about driving. All right. So what else do I think it's going to need then? So I've got somewhere that they can eat, somewhere they can relax, they can go and explore the aquarium, they can go to the jungle. I think I'm missing a little bit of an adventure zone though, aren't I, for perhaps some of the younger people who might want to come. So over here, I'm going to do my theme park. Okay, so I'm going to draw my Ferris wheel to start off with. So that is going to be my Ferris wheel. Got to have a good roller coaster, haven't we? Just going to go behind the Ferris wheel. Do a loop-de-loop. And then go under the road and back over. Okay. So that's my roller coaster. I might have a waltzer over here. There we go. I might have one of those big volcano towers where people go to the top and then shoot back down. Okay, but this is going to be the theme park. Now obviously I've gone for the Grand Hotel, the food square, the jungle experience, the aquarium. So I need to come up with a catchy name for my theme park, don't I? Because people want to visit it. So I think I'm going to call my island Unicorn Island. I think that's a good name for it. I feel like it's going to be a very magical place. Okay, so I'm just going to put here, so okay, so Unicorn Island. So that means this has got to be the majestic theme park, doesn't it? Good. Okay, and as again, my shuttle road that goes past, you're going to be able to get access there. So I think if I've got a theme park, I've definitely got to have a water park too, haven't I? It seems like an appropriate place to maybe put the water park across from the majestic theme park. So let me draw my pool here. It's going to have a big pool with a big diving board at the side, so you can jump in from big heights. It's going to have some slides going into it. Yeah, I think it's going to have a lazy river that goes around the outside of it. And that's going to feed nicely into the beach as well, isn't it? So if I've gone for majestic theme park, maybe I'll go for Splash Wonder for my water park. Okay. And then I've got this big space over here and a space here. So what else could I include? So I've got my beach, I've got my aquarium, I've got my water park, the food square, jungle experience. Ooh, maybe this could be the spa. Hey, if people are coming for a relax, they might want to go to the spa. Need it to be out of the way, don't I? So here I could put the spa, couldn't I? So maybe I could call it the magical spa. Okay, and I'm going to create the shuttle bus so that it can come here too. And then I think I'm probably just going to put some nice greenery in these areas, to be honest. So if people did want to go for a walk, there'd be some nice greenery around for them to go and explore. Maybe they want to take a picnic. Maybe the kids might want to play some games on the grass instead of playing on the beach. Okay. So that is my island, and as you've seen, I've just created it there and then on the spot with you guys, and that's exactly what I want from you. The only thing I would say is that there's a couple of my bits that aren't fully developed at the moment, so they might need a little bit more thought. So for example, the aquarium. Well, if I've started giving wonderful names to my theme park and my spa, I might want to think about a good name for my aquarium. And the food and restaurants, I might want to come up with some names for those. The jungle experience, I might want to call that something else, okay? But the idea is by the end of these 2 lessons, you should have a full plan like this as to exactly what your island is going to include, and it needs to have a name as well. If you're struggling with anything, please do just drop me a message. I'm more than happy to explain and go over any bits for you. So if you're still struggling to have a think about your island after watching my video, there's another video attached here of a not an island as such, it's called a hangar, but essentially in Germany they've created this whole kind of resort within this hangar, and it's quite interesting to see some of the things that they've included. They've probably included some different things to what I've included, but it might just help to give you a little bit more of an idea as to, you know, making sure that your guests are always entertained, that there's lots of things for them to do on your island. I have given you 2 whole lessons to complete this so that yours can be really beautiful. Obviously the one I've just designed was really quickly drawn up with you, but you've got time to make them colourful and pretty and really think about the names. So what I would like by the end of next lesson is a name for your island, a labelled drawing of your island that is colourful and attractive, and a clear idea as to what is on your island, because that's going to feed very heavily into what we do next lesson. All right, I hope you enjoy this. Make sure you complete the Show My Homework quiz afterwards as well.